podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.
Well, it's that time of year. The British Speedway Promoters Ltd can confirm the structure of the 2023 season following the AGM, which took place this week in Coventry. Now, all clubs present confirm their intention to race next year, with Leicester moving up to the Premiership as expected. This means the top flight will comprise 7 clubs, with 9 clubs contesting the Championship after the welcome news that Armadale Stadium is set to be available, enabling Edinburgh to continue. Key changes include the return of the aggregate bonus point in both leagues after a strong response in favour from a poll held on social media during the season. Promoters have also agreed to extend the superheat concept again in both leagues to cover the scenarios of meeting draws and also tied scores on aggregate. With an extra club in their league, the Premiership have returned to a knockout format for their cup competition, and they also have retained the pairs, which will be staged over 3 rounds. There's also a new playoff format for the Championship, designed to eliminate the issue of the top 2 clubs being left inactive during early autumn, and both leagues will have a cut-off date of August the 31st in order to allow for a timely start of the playoffs. The Championship had originally indicated their intention to run a 2-home, 2-away league format. However, analysis of the calendar suggested that the additional fixtures would present a risk of clubs being unable to complete their schedules prior to that cut-off date of August the 31st. Therefore, the Championship have agreed to continue with the 1-home, 1-away league format and will also revert to an early season regionalised group competition with semi-finals and a final for those who progress. And a significant development is a tie-up between the BSPL and MyLaps, which will see transponders rolled out to all Premiership and Championship clubs during the 2023 season. This technology will provide accurate information and live timing and assist in resolving close finishes, and will also be made available to Eurosport and the British Speedway Network for use during their broadcasts. It's a big game changer, that, and it will be discussed in more detail about what it is going to mean for Speedway, but live timing and live results as and when they happen from around the top 2 leagues. So let's have a look at the individual leagues then, and the Premiership will consist of Bellevue, Ipswich, Kings Lynn, Leicester, Peterborough, Sheffield and Wolverhampton. There'll be a points limit of 39 points for 6 riders. Teams also will include 1 rising star. The league format, though, is generally unchanged. 2 home and 2 away meetings, with the top 4 clubs progressing to the playoffs. The Knockout Cup will consist in the first round of a meeting between Wolverhampton and Bellevue, Ipswich and Leicester, Kings Lynn and Sheffield, and Peterborough have a bye to the semi-finals. The Premiership pairs will take place over 3 rounds. The tracks hosting those rounds will be Ipswich, Sheffield and Kings Lynn. Into the Championship then, and that will be made up of the same clubs minus Leicester that ended last season. And those clubs will, of course, be Berwick, Birmingham, Edinburgh, Glasgow, Oxford, Redcar, Plymouth, Poole and Scunthorpe. There will be a points limit in the Championship of 40 points for 7 riders. The league format will be 1 home and 1 away meeting. The playoff format will consist of the top 6 sides. They will qualify for the playoffs, but different in 2023 will be that they will be split into 2 mini-leagues of 3 teams. The league leaders will select their 2 mini-league opponents. Winners of each mini-league will qualify for the grand final. The Knockout Cup will take place, and in the first round, Berwick and Redcar will go head-to-head for a place in the quarter-finals, which will be made up of Redcar or Berwick versus Glasgow, Scunthorpe versus Birmingham, and Poole versus Plymouth. Edinburgh will also take on Oxford. There'll be also a group competition at the start of the season, again in mini-league groups, and the mini-league groups will be as follows: Berwick, Edinburgh and Glasgow, Birmingham, Redcar and Scunthorpe, and Oxford, Plymouth and Poole. The group winners and highest scoring runners-up will progress to the semi-finals, which will be then followed by, of course, a final. League point scoring will be as follows in both of the top 2 leagues. A win will earn you 2 league points. A draw will mean a superheat for things to be decided. And if you lose, of course, you get no points. There will be an aggregate bonus point, 1 point for the aggregate winners following the home and away matches. Superheats will be held following any match, which ends in a draw after Heat 15. The team scoring the most points in the Superheat will receive 2 league points. The team defeated in the Superheat will receive 1 league point. A Superheat will also be held in the event of an aggregate tie following home and away matches, with the team scoring the most points in the Superheat being awarded the aggregate bonus point. Should both meetings between 2 clubs result in draws, and therefore the aggregate scores are also tied, 1 Superheat will be held to resolve both the meeting victory in the second match and the aggregate bonus point. There will be, of course, major events to take place through the Speedway calendar in 2023, such as the Championship Pairs and British Final, Under-21 Final, and all of these kind of events. But these dates and venues will be confirmed early in 2023. The National Development League will be having their own AGM on Tuesday, November the 29th. However, the BSPL are delighted to confirm that initial acceptance has been given for Workington to join the NDL League in 2023. May also be known as Northside, but great to have a new track heading back to British Speedway. The AGM for the National League will take place, as I say, November the 29th, and they will be issuing their own statement about how the National League will work, all in good time. So there's an overview of the key changes and that statement that's come out following the AGM in Coventry this week. We will put together a full podcast, a No Breaks, No Fear episode in the near future, where we will be able to discuss in detail with one of the board directors about the changes that are being proposed and the thought process that went in behind those, and maybe some other information that we can look forward to in 2023. So that will arrive very soon. We're going to bring you more information, but these are the main headlines coming out of the AGM, and there will be more discussion. Of course, anything official will be shared on the British Speedway social media channels, Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, and of course online on the main website, britishspeedway.co.uk, for all the information as and when we have further news to bring you. But look out for that podcast episode, which we're going to be working on in the next few days, all being well. So there are the changes and things that you can look forward to from British Speedway in 2023.
Sports Social Podcast Network.